Well, hello and welcome, everybody. How's it going? It's Ukraine Update here on the Shills. We've got most of our usual regular crew, not quite all. We got a couple that might pop in as we go. We got one that might drop out as we go. We got one with a computer that's hanging on for dear life by a thread, and one with a mobile that just doesn't want to connect. It's not playing ball. So we'll see where we end up and how it goes. We've got Yana at Project Constantine in with us. We've got Slavi from her channel over with us. We've got Commander McMillan, retired U.S. Navy, in with us. We've got myself, and we've got Operator Starsky, who's going to give us a couple of headlines as well. How's it going, buddy? What's happening your way?
Hey, bro. So nice to meet you guys. So nice to see you guys. That's a small difference that I learned the other day. There was this guy from the U.S., and he visited like one small enterprise in Kyiv often, and the girl at the reception, she didn't know the nuance. That's why every single time she was like, "Oh, it's very nice to meet you," and he was like, "Dude, like, I'm visiting this place already like 100th times or something like that." But other than that, so first of all, we have solid evidence that F-16s arrived to Ukraine. They were presented today, and President of Ukraine also talked about it. Now we have some air combat air support for our guys. Guys, they will not change the war. They are not game changer. Primarily, they will be used for air defense to intercept terror Russian missiles. But it's better than nothing. It's good that we have them. They can carry all kinds of great stuff, and they bring us some like tiny more of advantage that we needed for a long time. So currently, my guys report from Pokrovsk direction. They say that Russians are preparing some major offensive in that area that may start approximately in 1 week, maybe earlier. They're concentrating troops there right now. Situation in Chasiv Yar is kind of hard. Several weeks ago, remember I reported that there was Russian offensive anticipated in the area of Chasiv Yar, and guys withstood the attacks, all those attacks that happened until today. Chasiv Yar is holding, but situation is kind of hard. And recently there was this big exchange, 24 people, I believe, were exchanged in total. Among them were 16 prisoners that were kept in Russia, and 8 prisoners that were kept in the United States and Germany. So why it was important? It was one of the biggest prisoner exchanges, I believe, since the times of the Cold War. And why this exchange happened on the first place? It happened because in Russia, Russian regime arrested plenty of people, primarily journalists. And at the same time, in the European countries, in the United States, Russia sent its assassins and spies.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like vice versa. This is exactly what happened. And this is the reason why this exchange even was possible, because Russia, the country without freedom of speech, without all ordinary freedoms that we have here in Europe and in the America, arrested journalists, foreign journalists, because they were asking inconvenient questions to the Russian regime. And at the same time, they've sent plenty of terrorist spies and assassins to the European countries and to the United States. So that is something we should remember. It's not like, oh my God, thank you so much for, finally releasing those people and we are happy on both sides. Freaking no, people returned home that were kept by the terrorist Russian regime, and the terrorist Russian regime received back its minions.
Also known as waste product.
Kinda, yeah. But at the same time, there were several, I would say, pretty much experienced officers of the Russian intelligence service. There was this man, Vadim Krasikov, Russian colonel of the Russian intelligence service, who assassinated a person in Germany in 2019. He shot a Chechen leader of Georgian citizen of Chechen origin, the one who fought against Russia in the Chechen War, and the one who found shelter in Germany. So he was assassinated by this individual, and he got caught. Even despite, he changed like hair, he had a wig, he tried to escape using a scooter and everything else. But due to local German kids, don't fuck with those guys. They are they are tough. Okay, German kids, don't mess with them. So due to them, he was arrested by the authorities. And of course, it was proved that he was connected with the FSB, with Russian intelligence. There were pictures of him wearing Russian uniform and stuff. But he got exchanged as a result of this exchange that took place several days ago. That's all on my side.
I wanted to go to the remarks towards the F-16s first. Commander McMillan, I know that you're going to want in on that. You've said a few times that they are not the game changer that some people are making them out to be. And that should be, the people need to understand it's not and end all be all end game, is it? Do we have Commander with us? I think his computer might have froze up in the background. I don't think he's moved since the start of the show.
He's moving. I see him moving. There we go.
Commander, you hear us? Are you there?
I can hear you. Can you hear
I
me?
believe
Now we do. Now we do. Or now I do.
I believe that
I can hear
our
you,
Navy
Dick,
today, stick to
but-
OPSEC.
Yeah,
And
but I can't hear
probably
anybody
infantry
else.
can talk instead of Navy today. So the reason why F-16s are not game changers.
It's hard to provide
it's
witty
because,
repartee when the only person you can hear is the guy who isn't
too
talking.
late.
What's that, Commander? Rejoin, because your whole thing is falling apart. You're not hearing anybody but myself, and that's definitely not how we're trying to do this. Yeah, over here, your system's all into the red and stuff too. It's struggling. So yeah, give it a restart and everything, and rejoin us.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Stand by.
All right, continue on there, Starsky.
Yeah, as we understand, it's a bit too late. Of course, we anticipated them to arrive to Ukraine a bit earlier. So another thing is we require a bit more of them than we have right now. Just so you can understand, the Russian Air Force is like approximately 10 times larger than in Ukraine. So we required a bit more of them, and also we required long-range weapons to be used with those airplanes. And unfortunately, some of those long-range weapons we are not allowed to use on the Russian territory to strike Russian military objects, Russian air bases used to launch their strategic aviation that strikes Ukrainian cities. So they will not become a game changer. I would say strategically, on the operational level, probably they will bring quite a lot of success. So that's my opinion.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Yana, Slavi, anybody want in on the points so far or start something new? I mean,
I can't contribute much to the F-16 chat. But the prisoner swap, I read some comments where one person said it's not a prisoner swap, it's a rotation for Russia. A personnel rotation. And
okay, good. Are we getting there? Do you hear me too? Oh, for God. Okay. I think we might be somewhere. Keep going there, Yana. Keep going.
Yeah, and then the other thing is kind of, it's kind of like Russia has kind of figured out that they can do diplomatic hostage taking. It's always like they've made it their foreign policy to an extent, like we'll take these guys and then who have no reason, we'll throw these guys in jail, but then we'll send our spies. And when you arrest them, you kind of want your citizens back, right?
Right.
So it's kind of, I don't know. It's weird that a prisoner swap took place while Russia is, has fully invaded Ukraine and not a single Ukrainian was exchanged. It just feels a bit weird.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely. That's a point that can't be overlooked. Let's see here. I'm still having an issue trying to get Commander on the show properly. Commander, I'm not sure your computer's liking this. Go ahead. Oh, wow. That's latency. Yeah. It's just massive latency. So just try to jump in. There you go.
Okay. What I was going to say is the Russians have been doing that kind of thing with taking diplomatic hostages forever. Back in Soviet times, it was common. Any point you get a Russian agent arrested, immediately they would arrest, businessmen or journalists or whatever, and then try to arrange a swap. It was just, that was the way they do business, and they have done it for forever.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that is the reason why Russians keep a lot of Ukrainian civilians as hostages there in the Russian territory, because since the beginning of the invasion, they captured a lot of Ukrainian civilians. We're talking about thousands.
Mm-hmm.
For example, during the last exchange that took place, I believe last week, there were approximately 80 people released. There were quite a few civilians among them, so they still keep exchanging like military for civilians.
Right.
And another reason why this very exchange was so suspicious and weird, like no Ukrainians, is because it's literally what it is. It's a Russian war against West. It's not about just Ukraine, it's about the West. And Russia is not a friendly country. They never expressed any friendly feelings towards the West, besides this stupid informational campaign that takes place on the platforms like Twitter, that Russia is not the enemy. That is one of the most popular tags, I believe, on Twitter since beginning of this year. But other than that, they're waging the war, and even though currently this war is just a hybrid war, but it's still a war. And this is something people around the world should remember and understand.
Yeah, and I think it is quite telling that the so-called Russian opposition who was traded at their press conference, it was drop the sanctions against Russia. The West should stop helping Ukraine. And there was one other thing. And it's just like, well, the first opportunity you have at a press conference, and you're basically saying that. So it's like, I mean, yeah.
I have my officially government-provided script, and I must read from it.
Hey, we got Nick Suter sitting in now as well. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?
Oh, good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. We were just doing, points of interest off the top of your head, talking about a few things that came up and so on. As it pertains to Ukraine, where are you at? And, what's either got you happy or not?
Oh, dear Lord.
I went there.
Well, you see, I told Commander McMillan, I was like, the problem is, how do I know what I think until I hear what he says? I get most of my information from him.
So do I.
Don't we all?
That's why when you stopped streaming for a while, I just brought Commander on the show full time, so I still had that, right?
Exactly. It's like, we don't need it time. We just need the people there. You know what? I was actually just, I was on, I was on Rick the Ukrainians just a short while back. He had me on, which was really nice. And he and I were talking, and he seemed a little pessimistic. And one of the things that I had said was that, it's my favorite Martin Luther King Jr. quote, which is, the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. And the only reason that there's a war now at all is because of a successful war for independence prior. And successes build on each other, and there's always an ebb and flow. And with any luck, the Russian economy and government will collapse, and then they'll have their own problems. And I think the strikes inside Russia are long overdue. That's not the Ukrainians' fault. They've been wanting to do it for a while, and we've been like, no.
Yeah.
I'm very optimistic about those, and my hope is that things are bad, and I'd hope that before they get worse, Ukraine can be given more of what it needs. They can be allowed more off the leash, and the pressure on Putin then becomes enough that there can be a change somewhere from there. Commander Macmillan, I know, has repeatedly reminded us that even that is not necessarily the golden or the silver bullet, but I think it's a start. So
yeah. We should take a minute to shout out a little bit of fundraising and stuff here. Yana, would you like to?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are still fundraising for the 67th Brigade. But we have some updates. Over the weekend, 2 of the cars we bought is now arrived in Ukraine. John from Red Bus drove it from England to Poland, and then 2 of our volunteers took it over the border. We had a bit of a run-in with the Polish border guards because we had 10 Blue 80s in the cars, and they recently updated the border laws on Poland's side that said, yeah, you can't bring anything that's like over, I don't remember how much.
I'm sorry,
how many euros?
What was it, did you say?
It's like a Blue 80. It's like a big backup battery thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so like a power backup thing for the guys, yeah. And it's about like, they said, yeah, you can't bring anything over the border that's more than 1,000 euros. So we had these 2 trucks full of it, and they're like, yep, you don't have the necessary documents. And we're like, no, but we've got the declaration in Ukraine. They're like, yeah, but you don't have a Polish declaration. So we drove back, left it at friends of John, and then drove through with 1 of each in each car. And we were literally like, Halina was like phoning Zhenya, like, hey, how can you help? Because it's not a problem we've had in the past, So we're going to get that sorted out this week. And then the cars are on their way to the east, where they will be repaired and spray painted and kitted out and everything. Yeah.
Cool.
And then we have our Adopt a Starling campaign that I spoke about last time I was on here. And Halina and I, we set up the accounts and everything. And we give it to Shum, and Shum's like, it's not working. Okay,
no.
So what happened was Elon, the big lover of Ukraine that he is, decided to screw everyone over. The price used to be $75 for what the guys needed. Now it is set to $95.
Wow.
Yeah, great difference. But the existing contracts don't change. It's only the new ones that change. And
Drunken Kitty has a message for you, Elon.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. So going forward, we'll absorb the costs, because some people already bought adopted starlings, and thank you to them. So we're just going to absorb the difference this month, and then going forward, it's just going to the membership adoption fee is going to be more, basically.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's
cool.
It's nice, but it's also like, thanks, Elon.
Yeah, right. I mean, damn it. But, all will do their best and regroup and reshuffle and, exactly, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's good. Like at the moment, we've at least, from the 22 cars we want to provide, we've delivered 4 now. And John is bidding on one for us again tomorrow. So let's hope it's within our budget. That it doesn't go over our budget, because then we're going to lose it, But yeah. Cool. Okay. So yes, progress. I'm just lining a thing up here in the background as well. Oh, don't start until I'm ready for you. Yep.
Ichipod Deer says Tesla sales are crashing, so that's maybe why Elon decided to increase the Starlink prices.
Crashing bad. Same with that Cybertruck. What a failure that is.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a winner. Holy. Yeah, that Cybertruck is the best thing you could do to make yourself look like a rich git moron that has more money than brains. Okay, here we go. I'm just setting something up.
I just want to answer Keith. So it is now $95 a month, but Buy Me a Coffee takes a $5% platform fee. So we've set it to like $100 for a full adoption, and then $51 for half adoption, because you can't have cents in Buy Me a Coffee, so you can only have on the amount.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you can't. They won't let you play with the numbers. Who wants to go where next? I've got a couple of shout outs to do and a fundraiser message as well, but I don't want to tie them all in directly. That would be a little bit. So let's see, Commander. Hopefully you're connected and working still. Anything you wanted to get to over there?
Since I couldn't hear what Starsky was saying earlier, I may be duplicating his stuff. So interrupt me if I am. But there are, I won't say unconfirmed, we'll call them semi-confirmed reports that we have actually had F-16s operating in the air over Ukraine.
Oh, I hope they're real reports.
Yeah, and I know people have. Yeah, I know people have been waiting for that. We knew it was going to come towards the end of summer. So, it's something. I don't know how big a deal it is, but it's a sign that progress is being made, which is a good thing.
Yeah, very much so.
We actually have proof of the Starlinks. Helena made some proof. I sent it to Dick.
Oh, yeah. Here, I can show you. Watch this.
He made us some.
Yeah, see?
Helena and I are starting on the F-16s.
Oh, yeah.
So they're in Ukraine. They're there.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard about the new drones with the new armor on the bottom, which was I thought really nice. I think they call it anti.
I know that the Ukrainians have been making some pretty good efforts with their drone attacks inside Russia. There's the last report I saw was something about Gazprom is actually losing something on the equivalent of like $5 billion in the last quarter.
Wow.
I don't know how much of that is due to bombing effects and how much of it is due to sanctions, but combined, that kind of economic impact is something you can't ignore.
That is true, and actually today there was like one of the recent reports was from Rostov, where another Russian oil refinery was hit.
Yeah,
there was this celebrating Russian who recorded this video, and he was like, "Oh, look at that! Another refinery is on fire." And I completely share his, celebration, his happiness because of this. Since the beginning of this year, when those attacks became regular, it was estimated that Russia lost something like 13% of their oil-producing capabilities, but it was a number, I believe, as of April this year. Currently, I gotta check my numbers. I believe that they're much bigger, much higher. And to me, it is a good sign. We all know that Russians don't use their oil money for a good purpose, for maintaining their dams, for providing their citizens with like electricity and things like that. They use those money to wage informational warfare on the West and kill Ukrainian people. So we are celebrating those strikes. As a Ukrainian, I love when they suffer.
They have issues with buoyancy as well, so that's another one, right?
Yeah, they really do. I'm not sure. When Karl Donitz decided to build like 600 submarines, it was like a good decision from German standpoint in those days. Yeah, but in current naval warfare, I don't think that Russians need so many. But still, they do.
Well, I think it quite impressive that the Turks just launched a Ukrainian anti-submarine frigate, and the day before it launches, somehow a Russian submarine gets sunk. It's not common for ships to actually sink enemy ships before they get launched, but this is impressive.
That's just the power of the Ukrainian ships.
Ukraine is full of mysteries, my friends. You can see all kinds of shit happening.
I know.
That's funny.
You're a living example of those mysteries, Starsky. So
Let's turn to Slavy here. Anything that you wanted to get towards, or focus on?
Yeah, I was just wondering, how is the situation in Ukraine in terms of the weapons delivery? Are the weapons still being delayed?
As I understand, it's bad delays.
Unfortunately, it's true. Unfortunately, they keep being delayed because, again, we were promised one number of tanks, including Abrams tanks, and at this point, the numbers of present tanks on the territory of Ukraine is absolutely different. So delays are present, but at the same time, as for the artillery shells situation, I would say dramatically improved since like February, March.
Yes,
of course, yeah, and not only artillery shells, but also missiles for Hammer systems and things like that.
I'm just asking because, as we know, there's elections coming up, and it's time for Kamala to kind of take a strong stance on Ukraine, and that needs to be addressed, the weapons delivery. It needs to be a very good plan that she needs to present. I recently wrote an article talking about Pompeo's peace plan, and I think so far it's a winning plan. So I'm just really waiting for Kamala to come out with her plan. I hope it's a good one. I hope it's a winning strategy.
I agree. I would like to see her come out and get strong on the stance. I think she's a little scared politically, and I think Nick would take the reins and take that conversation further here.
Well, I am interested in seeing her plan. My concern is more for Congress. She can have all the plans she wants to, but there's very little she can do if she cannot get Congress on her side, which is why down ticket voting and especially for people who find this important, need to make sure that they don't just like, I just voted for president and done. No, down ticket and make sure that she gets the support she needs when she becomes president. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how good her plan is. Now, having said that, if that happens, then it does matter how good her plan is. She strikes me as far more capable than most people gave her credit for in the beginning. And if that's true, then I'm expecting that she's going to understand why this is important, why this is serious, and it's going to be a part of the federal budget significantly going forward for the near future if she becomes president. That would be my expectation.
Do you think she's somebody who could unban the lifting restrictions on using American weapons on Russian positions?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, if you mean technically, yes, I do believe technically she would have that authority. I also believe she would probably, she's been underestimated. One of the things that people don't realize is she was a prosecutor, and she's prosecuted criminal gangs, murderers, people who have actually tried to kill her. So, it's like, it's fun watching her respond to Trump, and they're like, she's intimidated by Trump. No, she's not. No, I don't know. I've never met a person that I think could intimidate.
She literally persecuted guys like Trump.
Yeah, so she's not going to be intimidated by the idea of she's not going to be intimidated by. She will take Putin for the threat he is. Don't get me wrong. She's not going to underestimate him. But even Putin, I don't think is going to intimidate her. So I think she's got the balls to sit there and say, yeah, we're going to let them do it. And I think if NATO tries to balk at it, she's going to say, okay, no, you're right. Let's just let him take over the planet. Let's pick and choose now, because if we don't do it now, we're going to have to do it later.
Absolutely. What do you think of Pompeo's peace plan?
I know nothing of Pompeo's peace plan. I've been, for those of you who don't know, I haven't streamed in about a year, and I have a lot of experience in time is my show, and we were up for about 4 or 5 years. I had family issues, and I thought they'd be resolved in a couple of weeks, and here we are a year later coming back, and I have not had a chance to catch up. One of my big catch-ups is that young man down there. I want to get Starsky back and chat with him a bit, and so we're going to reach out. We've had Starsky on every week, and every now and then when I really had like nothing to do. I mean, literally,
I have no idea where he got the idea from, but
I would go to a place called the Shills and be like, I'm really, really bored.
I pulled up the Pompeo's peace plan right here. I can do bullet points real quick. Increased military aid. Pompeo suggests significantly increasing military aid to Ukraine to bolster its defense capabilities. NATO membership. He advocates for fast-tracking Ukraine's membership in NATO to provide a stronger security guarantee against Russian aggression. EU membership. Pompeo also supports Ukraine's accelerated membership in the European Union to integrate it more closely with Western Europe. Economic support. The plan includes offering Ukraine substantial economic aid, potentially up to $500 billion, to help rebuild and stabilize the country. Sanctions on Russia. Pompeo calls for real and stringent sanctions on the Kremlin to pressure Russia into negotiating a peace settlement. Lend-Lease program. He proposed a Lend-Lease program for Ukraine similar to the one used during World War II to provide long-term military support. Lifting restrictions on American weapons. The plan includes lifting restrictions on the use of American weapons by Ukrainian forces to enhance their operational effectiveness. These are points that are just to do with Ukraine, but there's a couple of other ones with Saudi Arabia and Israel to kind of undermine Russia. And I just want to make it very clear, Trump did not support, he didn't endorse this plan yet. Hopefully, maybe he will. I think he should, obviously, but I just want to make that clear that he didn't endorse it.
I doubt it. I doubt he would. And not for personal reasons. I don't think he gives a fuck either way. I think it just depends on what he thinks he can get his base riled up over, and supporting Ukraine isn't one of those things. I would defer to Commander McMillan on all of those. I think he would know more than I on all of those. I will only say that I like all of those plans. I think that all of that should have been done a while ago. I think the incremental approach has probably been productive. So if we had, say, for example, as soon as we gave Ukraine weapons, they were allowed to strike inside, that would have been a much bigger deal than incrementally doing it. And it sucks for Ukraine. But now we are at the point, I think, where we can just say, like, oh, Ukraine has been firing everything they've got inside. Our intel is so bad. We had Ukraine who? I don't know what you're talking. And we can just sort of look the other. I think we've reached that point. I think the pressure on Putin is so enormous now that it's actually time to press on the gas and try to increase it, not sit back and just wait and see what happens. And I think that's what all of those does. The biggie, though, is finding ways to get like the dragon teeth and those kinds of structures. And again, Lance may come out and just correct me and say I'm dead wrong on this, but get more defensive structures in place, because there are areas still where Russia is making gains that they really should not be permitted to make. And I think we haven't taken that as seriously as we should as well. But I would really like to hear the commander's answers to those questions.
Do we have them still?
Oh no, he's frozen again.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's frozen. No, he's not frozen. There is motion on the camera, but I think he may not be able to, or he's got a lag.
That's like 10 seconds. Yeah. Here, let me try to refresh his camera or something quick in the background, see if it kicks him back in here.
He inadvertently spoke over me earlier, and I thought that the internal audio was dead, and I think it's just he's got a lag. Either that or he knows me personally and just doesn't give a shit what my opinion is, which is probably more likely.
There's a little steamroller in there, I think, dude. I really do. No, Commander, you hear us now? You all good? How we doing?
I've been able to hear everybody except Nick. I can see Nick's lips moving, but no sound.
And Nick was just asking your opinion on something.
Anything he said.
If
let me tell you about
how to do that. If I pay you,
fucking asshole! What an asshole! Jesus.
Are you sure he's not paying me?
Listen, okay. Those of you in the audience, you can see why I really have to think about every time I come on, because I got to deal with yeah. Oh dear Lord. What a schmuck. Okay, thanks. I'm really glad I came on. You know, I said I could go on
to finger pointing. Lots of finger pointing.
Yeah, now let me tell you what I really think about Commander, because this is a great opportunity. Shit. Oh, all right. This is not an accident, folks. This is not somebody did this deliberately. I'm just telling you right now. Somebody did this deliberately, and I think. Dick know who. Now Dick wouldn't Dick accuse any Dick of doing any Dick kind of Dick thing.
Check for a second.
Maybe doing this with the.
All these jokes being made at my expense. And I can't hear them. This is great.
Commander, if you can hear me, rejoin, because your shit is falling apart over there on that computer. So yeah, just click back in.
Or pass the message on to him that I would like his answer on those previous questions, because I genuinely do want that.
Does anybody have 2 empty soup cans and a piece of string? Okay.
I swear I now know why our producer wasn't available today. He's on your show. That's the only thing that would explain all of this, is that you're using our producer. Somebody else might have been competent.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, the iMac he's trying to use right now is ancient, but it's all about his new setup in the basement. So he's got a new little PC coming, and it's got a Ryzen 7 and everything. He'll be good, you know.
Let me ask this question, Dick, just out of curiosity, although I think I may know the answer. Who's helping him set this up?
I am, and when it's a brand new one off the shelf, I'll stand by it.
Just asking, Dick, that's all.
Do you get commission, Dick? Just want to know.
Are you there?
Yeah, I think so.
I can see him.
All right.
Can you hear me, or can you hear Dick? Oh, you okay? Oh.
Okay, I can't hear Commander, so.
And she can't hear Commander. All right.
Commander, say something.
Say something.
What an ass.
Everybody hears an ass.
Everybody hears an ass.
So I'll just keep talking.
I can't hear him. I rejoin?
Till you flip me off, and I'll assume that means I should shut up.
Okay.
Well, I had a question. There was a question asked of me, but I also wanted to make sure that they got your take on it. The bullet points. It was the bullet points from Pompeo's plan for Ukraine, and I think they can be repeated for you if you don't know them. I didn't, so they had to be, but I wanted to get your take on the efficacy of them, and for me in particular, is there an increased necessity for defensive things like the dragon teeth? Or Russia is making progress in some areas. Is this a concern? Does Ukraine need to fortify its defenses more, or is that not something that is? I mean, have we neglected that, or is that not as big a concern as it looks? So I will pass it over to both of you because I think that's the.
I will simply echo a quote from the movie Patton: "Fixed fortifications are a monument to the stupidity of man."
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Did you say Dick is a?
My feeling is
Dick is a monument to the. I'm sorry. What?
The modern man. The modern man.
Okay. But believe me, Lance, while you were out, all the jokes were not at your expense.
Not all of them. I'm sure there were one or two at your expense, but most of them were, I'm sure, at mine. And that's entirely appropriate given how screwy my computer situation is right now.
Yeah, it's fighting back, man. It's fighting back.
I assume you're asking me about the Pompeo plan,
yes,
which Slavi had read out the points on.
Yes, sir.
So my opinion is that any peace plan needs to have as a precondition the restoration of Ukraine's borders and a open guarantee by Russia of its territorial integrity, a return of all the kidnapped people. I mean, I'd love to see operations, but honestly, I don't demand you can put in a negotiated peace at this point. But I do think the requirement for an entry of Ukraine into NATO and the EU, or at least a statement saying that Russia will not oppose such entry, also needs to be a precondition, because signing a peace without those guarantees almost ensures that a renewal of this war within 5 to 10 years is guaranteed. That's my opinion.
And Russia has signed such guarantees in the past. The Helsinki Accords for was it the Helsinki Accords? I think it was the Helsinki Accords. They've signed such guarantees in the past, right?
Oh, yeah. But there were no, and when I say guarantees, I mean that sorry. When I'm talking about guarantees, what I mean is that it needs to be with a situation that you get an actual entry of Ukraine into a cooperative defensive agreement. Obviously, NATO is the one to join, but if for some reason that isn't practical, then you get some other smaller organization created to do that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So based on his lag, I've calculated that Lance is somewhere.
Somebody feel free and gesture. Let me know I was heard.
Of Alpha Centauri. That's about how long it's taking for the signal to just go and bounce back. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the lone human we sent off to save humanity.
Well, thank you. With genuine, even though he's not going to hear it, thank you, Commander. That's that makes a lot of sense. So let me, and maybe somebody else can pass this question on to the Commander for me if he can't hear me. But what is the pressure like on Putin right now? And I think Starsky would also probably be far more qualified, certainly more qualified than me to answer the question. What's the pressure like on Putin now? Is there anything that can really be done to increase the pressure? And can we expect any results from that, or is this really just going to be until a military stalemate and then both sides get so exhausted?
I believe that.
Oh, you captured me perfectly on that.
I believe that the only body that can conduct enough pressure on Putin is basically Russian population. And
there's not much of that, is there?
Yes, unfortunately, because Russia has this very, very much developed repression mechanism that was improved over decades and probably even centuries. They know well how to fight against uprisings. They know well how to fight against people. And their own population. So, unfortunately, it's not really possible. The only possibility is hunger uprisings, hunger revolts in Russia, which we won't see in the nearest future because Russia can provide their citizens with enough food. And generally, they don't really need much food, like other than, I don't know, 300 grams of vodka daily. And like carrot or dried fish. So, like it's not even funny because this is fact. They can survive on, I don't know, all kinds of shit. And they don't really care because Russian ideology says that your path is not path of wealth, but the path of suffering. But in the end, you will go to heaven. And this is like one of the basics, one of the foundations of the Russian world.
It's
I saw Commander nodding his head, so I assume, and I'm just curious if he had anything to add to that.
Well, we'll have to wait 10 seconds for the response, but we'll see here.
Well, now he actually looks frozen. But while we've got the time, Dick, I don't know whose idea that baby Starsky thing is, but I've just got to tell you, the people who say that it's cute, are not being honest with you.
Yeah. Well, here. Let me get Dunk situated on the show here.
Oh God, here we go.
And because he's got this all animated and everything, it's really funny.
Oh well, if he's going to be doing that, then yeah, that it's worth it. I think. Okay, so yeah, Commander, if you're back and if you can hear me, and so we can do one of two things. If you know American Sign Language, that's great. We could try that. Smoke signals is a second one, but barring those. You nodded your head several times while Starsky was speaking, so it suggests to me that you agreed, and I was just curious if you had anything to add or expound on what he had said. But I think he's frozen again.
I can't see Commander on my side.
Okay, just like public service announcement. When Dick offers to help you with your equipment, the answer is always no.
Fuck that.
Just saying. You're the one who set him up. These are facts. I
can hear Nick, but
go ahead.
Okay.
5.
You can hear me, but
3, 2, 1.
But you'd rather hear everybody else. I think it's.
Oh man, this is.
I don't blame Nick. I don't blame Dick.
I'll come, but it's so much fun. Listen, I blame Dick when shit goes wrong on our show, and he has nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm going to take this opportunity.
Not much to say there. No, the issue is entirely at my end, and most of it is hardware, and I have stuff on order to fix it.
So I will try one more time. It sounds like you can hear me. Did you have anything to add or expand on what Starsky said about applying pressure to Putin? That question is never going to get answered. There's there. Yeah.
Further is
Yeah. There's lag,
something
but we can hear you.
he starts bringing the economy and even further case in the other oligarchs start seeing their livelihood. They start to finally end.
I just want to say, by the way, too, I want to say, Dick, this idea of
everything Starsky said.
R2D2 is doing really well at his English classes.
So well, I saw him nodding a lot, so I could tell he was definitely supporting what Starsky said. I will say, Dick, that your idea that In Time should switch from vMix to VDO, you've been selling that idea beautifully, and I've been thoroughly
that was the
enjoying
caveat.
the show.
That's the caveat, because it's peer-to-peer. Commander McMillan's computer is falling apart and it's dragging the whole thing down, right? That's what's going on.
Yeah, that was. So Nick, we think that this production software would be great for you. Now, it doesn't work, but nobody really wants to hear you talk anyway, so it's going to be okay on your show. Thanks for that idea, and B, thanks for the vote of confidence. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. No, but we on this show, if we think somebody's going to be on like a half-ass system, we use Microsoft Teams, so they give us the back end to support it, right? But I didn't realize when we were playing last night that iMac was going to be this bad. But I did call it as a dying, mechanical hard drive. So, yeah, we're going to put it into connected display mode, target display mode, and it's just going to be a screen for his next system, right?
Now, wait a minute, though. Didn't his old system already have a screen?
It's I don't know.
Well, okay. He's connected to the show before.
For him to answer.
Right? Well, hold on a sec. He's connected to the show before, which means he had a computer before. If he had a computer before, I'm going to argue that likely means he had a screen. So if you get him a new computer, why bother retasking an iMac for the screen and not use the screen that presumably he's had for the other 372 shows that he's connected here with?
I'm gonna wait
for a friend.
I'm gonna wait 9 seconds for latency and let Commander McMillan answer that. So 4, 3, 2, 1. He should be ready about now.
You understand how latency works? He's hearing your countdown by the same latency. It's not.
Oh no, but he's supposed to jump over that. That's you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, he's supposed to be psychic. Okay, that's good. I mean, he's good at a lot of things, but reading minds isn't one of them.
Well, that's a shame because I really had an idea that was going there.
And that was a good idea, I will admit. Hey, did I just give you a compliment? We can edit this show, right?
Yeah, okay, hold on. Do the little Men in Black flashy and ready? 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Okay. Did it work?
You do realize I turned down a paying gig for this. I mean,
and you do realize the invite was not a contract with a promise not in any fashion, right?
So you're back to stripping again then, are you, Nick?
No. Listen, obviously you haven't seen my OnlyFans page. I start out naked and then they give me money to put my clothes back on. I usually make about $2,000 in the first 50 minutes. It's beautiful.
It's like reverse strip poker, basically.
Exactly.
Sasquatch peeler joints. Who knew?
Oh, my word.
So where does everybody want to go now? Because Off the Rails has been done. Anything else you want to cover?
Actually, I want to know if anyone else saw the video of the Ukrainian girl who got sent to Russia and now she's in some other, I don't know where the hell in Russia, but the woman who adopted her is abusive towards her and extremely drunk. And the neighbor tried to intervene, which is weird because he didn't try and take the kid away. He just videoed it and was like, oh yeah, why are you treating the child so bad? He's like, I don't want her, take her away from me. And it's just such a mess because you've got like people saying, I mean, obviously the Russian narrative is they took these kids to take care of them and get them, in a place where they're safe and they will, whatever Russian bullshit they're spewing.
That she's gonna keep beating her.
Yeah, she said she will continue to beat her. Dick, I'll send you the link.
Sure.
I mean, it is.
Oh, there was a question I was supposed to get at. Well, looky Lou, who made it here. Let me get you on the show before, because nobody can hear you for a second there, buddy. Hold on. There was a question that was asked to the panel earlier, and I only just realized I was in the wrong freaking room in the background and screwed this up. So it was out to the whole panel, and this was back to Starlink. Well, I thought the U.S. government was paying for some Starlink action.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but all I know is we need to pay for it. Our guys need to pay for it themselves. So I don't know if it's a thing like maybe if Starlinks get it directly. Maybe Greg knows. But
let's find out. Greg Terry, how's it going over there, buddy? Oh,
I can't hear Greg.
I can't hear him either.
I'm just doing that too. That's my best
Oh my
impersonation.
word!
Oh man, I'm renaming you Papa Son of a Beachy. How's it going, pal?
Exhausted, dude.
You must be, yeah.
But, and I'll answer that question. The network is going in. There'll be 3 computers here. I've had 5 people working all day in the studio, and you can see now she's really coming.
Oh, wow, man. That looks great. Oh, sorry. Here, let me highlight you as we're doing this. There we go.
So, it's coming. This will be the desktop where it all happens. Right there is where vMix runs. Right there is my back bokeh effect stuff, maps, whatever. Right here is my neural net live to air call-in. Here's my program master, and here's where I'm running all my chat. Camera 1 is in. There's 4 more cams to go in. And, yeah. I'm done. I'm out of gas, man. But let me answer that question. Let me flip my camera around. Here we go. I think it'll flip around eventually.
It hasn't yet.
Eventually it'll flip around. Other than, what is it looking at? You know, I'm going to send you a free copy of vMix. There we go.
I don't run PCs, man. Not a chance.
So, just wanted to jump in and say hello. Hello, Starsky. Hello, Nick. Hello, Dunk.
Hello.
Yana. Swabby. Hello to everybody. So, a couple of questions there I can help answer for Commander McMillan since he was having connectivity issues. I do think we upgraded him from a 14.4 baud modem to 56.2K, and eventually we'll get him rolling there. But the question on the Starlinks, every soldier I know that has a Starlink pays for their own, period.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. I know a lot of them. Second one, Nick's question, Dragon's Teeth. From Kherson all the way to behind Pokrovsk and Starsky's favorite place, Karakova, up towards the backside of Dobropopelia, which is behind Kramatorsk. Dragon's Teeth are solid 30 to 40 kilometers from the actual zero line now, and that's as close as we can get them in. Really, really heavy defensive setup. And it's public. Go look at a satellite. I'm not telling anything. It's public. Really heavy fortifications there. Really, really, really good from Kherson, Mykolaiv Oblast into Zaporizhia, pushing up into southern Donetsk Oblast. After that, Kharkiv is defended on the backside of Kharkiv. We were too late there. Sumy is defended on the backside of Sumy. It's go look at a satellite. It's all obvious. And we can't get any closer. Drone activity and artillery, it's impossible. So they're done. That's where our defensive lines are. And if we drop back there, we're going to really drop back some kilometers. But at that point, we are really stabilized and fortified. So there's positivity in that. Secondly, I've been listening to the whole program while the guys have been working. So I've been telling everybody what to do while I've been networking. So I've really enjoyed that. They're all painting and hanging and doing all that stuff. So that was fun. But the one thing that I haven't heard you guys discuss, and I'll just throw this in here, was Pompeo peace plan. First of all, it sounds really good, but you have a major issue that nobody's really talking about. Although I heard Nick talk about it, or Commander, I don't know who. When you get to the front line and you talk to the soldiers, they're on a different planet than the rest of the world is. And that is, these guys have lost their lives for Oleg and Sasha and Nikolai and Ivan and Svetlana and Natalia, and they've made commitments to each other. And Starsky, as a veteran of the Ukrainian army, would know this. They've made a commitment to each other that if they die in action, they're fighting for their brothers and sisters. That's just the way it is.
Yeah,
their lives will not be in vain. So that brings in an element that people quite often do not think about, and that's the frontline soldier's perspective of, okay, this guy saved my life and now he's gone and now I've got to fight for his children. So there's that perspective. Secondly, Starsky's absolutely correct. We're finally getting some artillery flow and some heavier weapon flow. So it is an improvement. It is better. The only thing I would say in regard to the Pompeo plan, unfortunately, until November happens and then really January 2025, you might as well take America off the table. I'm just going to tell you straight, because this is going to be all election driven and focused. And I really appreciate what Nick's talked about, getting down the ticket down. Guys, we have a three-branch system here, and we do not have a king, although Donald Trump wants to be king. And, and you guys know I'm a conservative. I am an anti-MAGA. I am an anti-Trump all the way. I wouldn't vote for him if my life depended on it. I'd fight for my life, but it's just the way it is. We have a three-branch system of executive, legislative, and judicial, and the power is in the Congress and in the Senate. And yes, we have our leader, the president, of course, it's important, and he's the executive powers, and he's the commander-in-chief, and all of those things that are according to our Constitution. Yet, you have to look at this entire picture. And the entire picture is even down to governors and states. And then, of course, Washington, D.C. And then you have to throw on top of that lobby groups, and you have to throw on top of that propaganda. And there you can bring the Kremlin and their tentacles that are everywhere. And they are decades ahead of the rest of the world in their ability to control narratives. Starsky was 100% correct when it comes to the Russian population. I've been working in Russia since 1994, all over Russia. So it's not just Ukraine I've worked in since 98. I actually started working in Russia first, and Starsky is 100% correct. And the only thing that will bring down Putin is the Russian people. So it's not going to be Donald Trump. It's not going to be Kamala Harris. It's not going to be Joseph Biden. It's not going to be NATO. It's definitely not going to be the United Nations. It's going to be the Russian people. It's going to be an internal issue. You have to go back to the revolutions that have happened over hundreds and hundreds of years throughout Russian history.
History has taught us this as well in other places and times, right?
History may not repeat itself, but it certainly does rhyme, as we know, so well stated. But the thing that I would throw in here, and then I'm going to keep working on the network and listen to you guys and tell you I love you, and we are days away from being back on schedule and rocking and rolling. Hopefully tomorrow's camera test day. So hello to all the people in the community, all the people in the chats. Love you all. Health is much better. I'd say I'm at 90% now. I'm really starting to feel. The only topic I haven't heard you guys discuss or if I did, I missed it when I was sniffing paint fumes as they were painting the walls. I know that's a Dick Dawson thing, but
that's what I was doing.
You wait.
I know
you
you're
wait
sniffing
until they're
paint fumes.
painting the walls to sniff the fumes. Why don't you just get the fumes? And you realize that you don't have to wait until they're painting walls. You can just buy the can.
Grab a can, sit in the closet, and huff it up, baby.
My son and son-in-law were over in the corner painting, and they came out and they go, "I think we've had enough, Dad." So I'm starting to feel funny here, but. In all seriousness, the one topic I haven't heard discussed too much that I personally feel will be the make or break point for the Ukrainian army, and that's mobilization. We can talk about NATO, we can talk about supply, we can talk about money, but guys, it's a problem, and they are in process of fixing it. But I want to remind you that, and we have lost some of our most heroic cream of the crop. And one of those guys is in the bottom right image of this picture I'm looking at right now on my back feed.
Damn right, man.
Okay. But listen, I'm talking thousands of soldiers that are studs. And the mobilization process is not bringing studs. It's bringing Ukrainians that want to fight for their nation. Not a problem. But a lot of these people that have been killed are highly experienced, and you cannot replace that in a 6-week crash course being trained in Western Ukraine.
That's right. 10 years experience does not boot camp make, right?
No, it doesn't. And so Ukraine is working on it. They're doing a decent job, and they're trying to improve that. So I would just throw that in the mix. You talk about Pompeo, you talk about supply, we talk about all these things happening. Always remember, mobilization is key right now for Ukraine. So everything that we can do to support the narrative. And I will tell you, supply coming is a boost for mobilization, because now Uncle Ivan and brother, Oleg are not calling their family members back in Lviv and Ivano-Frankivsk and the Carpathian, the mountains. They're not calling them and saying, wait, don't come. We have no bullets. Do not come. Now they're calling and saying, we're being supplied. Things are looking better for us. So all of this is connected to each other. And the best thing we can do is continue to tell the truth, continue to share reality, because I am a firm believer that reality will bring the hope that is the hope and the stuff, as Johnny Pierce would call it, that Ukraine needs to win the war.
Yeah.
We definitely have the resolve. We definitely have the skill base. We just need the truth, because the truth, biblically stated, the truth is what sets you free, man. And I'm telling you right now, the truth will set Ukraine free for victory. So Thank you guys for sharing truth, and thanks, Dickie.
Cool, man. Awesome.
I just want to touch on something Greg said. Sorry. And he said the guys continued to fight, afterwards. The past week, Pete's commander sent Halina a voice note and a message, and he said he and the guys were basically doing vandalism acts in a few cities near the front line. They put up stickers of Project Constantine to promote PK and Pete's memory. And all the soldiers are recognizing our stickers with our logo, because Halina left them with 100 stickers.
Nice.
And they asked her to send them the design of the stickers so that they could order more.
That's nice.
This is really what's going on.
That's cool. There's a lot of talk about our lost friend Pete the medic. There still everywhere you look. There really is. There was a question in the chat referring to our last topic of discussion there, Slavi, and we had a few folk wondering what your take is. Did you want to snap backwards, or do you want to just move forwards with something else?
I'm sorry, what my take on which part?
That's what's missing from the notification that I got. So
I would assume on the Pompeo plan.
I think it's a good plan. And as I said previously, I'd really like to see Kamala's stance on what she plans to do on Ukraine. A lot of the focus here in the United States is on this election, and for many voters, Ukraine and what's going to do in the future does depend on Ukraine and this plan moving forward. So,
yeah.
And so far, Pompeo's peace plan is the best one that I've seen. So, but again, Trump did not endorse it. So, and I'm not endorsing or saying Trump, vote for Trump, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't. It honestly doesn't matter. If Trump endorsed it, it doesn't mean he'd follow through on any of it. If he didn't endorse it, it doesn't mean that he's going to do whatever is going to mobilize his base, and Ukraine isn't going to do that. So, Trump will never have any positive effect.
Well,
I'm open to being changed, but
I would like to hear Starsky's view on that, because it turns out in just a little while, this evening itself, Starsky will be having a one-on-one with somebody on some of these very topics, won't you, buddy? And before Starsky gets going, I want to say, look, we are going to blanket the Ukraine community with the link so everybody gets in the live chat, but you want to walk out of that live chat with the high ground. You don't want to look like somebody who's being all and whatnot. You've got to do it through intellectualism and argument and factual presentation so that we can walk out going, sorry, no.
Bro, thing is, it's not one-on-one. It's like a usual stream. Of course, the person I'm talking to, and it's American blogger, YouTuber, veteran biker. Everybody's invited. I think it will be a good conversation. We wanted to talk about sinking Russian submarine. But in the end, it turned into, I will try to convince Ben to support Ukraine, and he will try to convince me that bike is better than a car. So let's see let's see how it will end. But yeah, guys, let's have a chat. Let's have a good civilized conversation. We are civilized shills, right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah, guys, it's not like somebody asked me, like, why do you even talk to a MAGA guy? Guys, first of all...
Why would you not?
First of all, United States are Ukrainian ally. Ukraine is ally for United States. It was like that since the collapse of the Soviet Union. America supports Ukraine. Ukraine supports America. We are buddies, unlike Russia, who was always American adversary and wanted to destroy America from within and from outside. So that is something we should always remember, regardless who you are, left or right, Democrat or Republican. There's a lot of conservatives still supporting Ukraine, and of course we have to talk with them as well. So, guys, after this stream, I would be really, really happy to see you there as well. I anticipate a really good conversation.
Yeah, we'll get the moderator team on putting the link in the thing. We're springing this on them real quick, offhand. And, and Annette's already done it long ago. So, see?
I just got to say what Starsky just said, that we have to talk to them as well. I completely agree on that. I know some people get mad at the left stuff, but we have to. And we have to share the information, and we have to let them know the truth about Ukraine, because what's in their head about Ukraine is ridiculous. Yeah. And who's going to do it than us? So we got it.
Absolutely, Slavi. We had the same stuff in Ukraine, like every Ukrainian presidential elections. oh my God, there's like blue versus red. There's like, I don't know, yellow versus green.
Right. Not
one
helpful.
one party accuses the other party of being freaking cannibals, and the hatred is pumped up so much. Guys, let's sit back, relax, enjoy our flight, and be civilized. We gotta talk.
That was
I
good.
believe as a communications person with some experience behind.
Damn right you do.
I believe that everything can be solved through proper communication. Of course, if your opponent doesn't want to kill you, rape your wife, kill your dog, and take your house, if it's not the case, then anything else can be easily solved through communication. So I believe this is something that we should all remember and respect.
Yeah.
Starsky, I've heard that the MAGA crowd think sushi is the food of the devil. So I think all gloves are off now. Go in there, kill.
I want to point out Walter Lake Fortress in the chat there. You get the puppy for the Look at Me award for the evening. There you go. Yeah. There was a couple of shout outs. I have not gotten any shout outs in so far. And if I don't do it now, I am, so slack. It's not funny. So give me a second here, everybody. Hold on. Demetrius Ziganova started us off with a direct donation for the beer fund. I chose Canopolis. Mine is always cold as fuck. I like the cut of your jib, son. Then we had Dunk on You 23 coming in and gifting out 5 Shills memberships. We had a direct tip for $3.33.
Illuminati confirmed.
From anonymous Bob, gotcha bass banging. We got Margaret Go sent in $25 direct, I think it was as well. Oh, yes, it is. And that's for Pete's fundraiser. Yeah. Here, you know what? Pete's fundraiser deserves something a little bit more. I think that's more appropriate. Pethra Olsen comes in. Yep.
Oh, Pethra, the non-smoking Norwegian. I'm cleaning up down here, and you were talking about Pete. It stirred a memory. So you know what this is, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is a shotgun shell. So I was in Mykolaiv, since you mentioned Pete, I was in Mykolaiv, and Pete was down the front line, and he called me. Greg, where you at? I said, I'm in Mykolaiv. Can you find me some shotgun shells? I said, Pete, what? Well, I'm going to try shooting some drones down with shotgun shells. I said, okay. You want shotgun shells? Well, what do you want? Well, I want number 8s. I said, okay. So I called my buddy in Mykolaiv, and I said, hey, I need some shotgun shells. He goes, okay, how many you need? I said, well, I need number 8s for a buddy of mine out on the front. He goes, oh, they're shooting drones. I said, yeah, they're working on it. And this was a long time ago. And he goes, well, I can find about maybe 20. I said, no, I want hundreds. and wait. And he says, okay, hundreds. Okay. Then let's do this. Meet us at the corner, and I'm just going to call it, I won't call the real streets in Mykolaiv, but he says, meet us on the corner of Main Street and Central Avenue at 5 o'clock. There's going to be a white car there and a guy sitting in it with black hair and a hat on that's blue and yellow. I'm telling the truth, guys. 5 o'clock, I show up. I go down to the car, open the door, I sit in there, I said, shotgun shells. He goes, how many you want? I said, all you got. He opened up a secret compartment in the car and says, there you go. I said, I'll take them all. Zhenya pulled the truck up. We loaded the shotgun shells and away we went to Pete. So there's your Pete story for the day.
Yeah. No, I actually have a video from where he was doing it when we were in Grimina Forest. And every time I'm like, I need to upload this, and then I forget to upload it. But at the same time, shortly after Pete asked Greg for shotgun shells, he also asked him for helium. And
yes, we did helium.
Yeah, because they were training to shoot down drones by having helium balloons. And Greg brought it, and Pete decided he's going to test out the helium, which was...
I have video of it, Yana. And first of all, so I was in Mykolaiv. We got the shotgun shells to him, and then he called me and goes, "Brother, I need some helium gas." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I'm in Kharkiv right now." He goes, "All right, there's got to be some there somewhere." So, of course, I have Zhenya, the miracle worker. Zhenya made a few phone calls. Next thing you know, we're at an industrial helium supply place, and we got the massive tanks. We take them over. I've got video of this. I'll show it when we're almost there. I'm going to be showing, we're having some Pete times, old videos and stuff, but lots of Pete stuff to share. I have the video where Pete is, and I'm sitting in his kitchen there on the front, and we're giving him some stuff, and we pull the helium tank in there, and he goes, "Oh, man." He goes, "All right, let me suck some of this in." I said, "What is that? You know, like your Dick Dawson impersonation, suck some gas or what?" He goes, "I'm going to suck it in." So he sucked it in. I'm going, "Hold on, man. Maybe that's not a good idea." And this is what Pete said, because he wanted to make his voice sound funny. You know, he sounded like Dunk when he's finished. But he did that, and he's talking funny. He goes, and this is what he said: "Kids, don't try this at home. Don't worry. I'm a trained medic." I mean, it was hilarious.
That's funny. Hilarious. That's funny, man. I got a couple of more shout outs I'll get caught up with here. So let's see. I was at Petra Olsen, Swedish krona, 129 of them with love to Ukraine. Yeah. We got John Mark Paganel in with a super chat here. Does Ukraine constitution would allow offers of exchange for 2-year contract service Ukrainian army in exchange to citizenship for immigrants at Polish border? Does that come together for everybody?
I think it was something about, will Ukraine allow officers? And yeah, actually, no.
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask that one for sure. But we could do a community post after and get an update to that and put it out because, Jean-Marc Paganel's in again. For record, offering army contracts to refugees would help Ukraine get troops. 2, help refugees and families. And 3, help Poland's border. Okay, so, there's some fundamentals in there that does make some sense. What do you think there, Nick?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Sorry, my mind blanked for a minute.
Follow up to the one with Constitution allowing exchange and stuff. Offering army contracts, refugees would help the Ukraine get troops. That was point 1. 2, help refugees and families. And 3, help Poland's border. Do you think that comes together?
It sounds like a great idea. I'd be real careful because it could look like you're conscripting them either against their will or offering enticements, and these are people who have no alternative. So it might look like you're saying to them, "Hey, we'll feed your family if you go off and risk your life." So I'd be a little careful with that. That's another one where Commander would know. Also, I'd be curious if there are any Geneva Conventions that would even, and not that the motives are bad. I think the motives are good. I actually think it's a good idea. I think it's one of those good ideas that could have very bad optics and could end up being a problem if you're not really careful with it.
Starsky, you got any opinion on that one?
I completely support Nick, and I also think that we should probably try working a bit more with Nepal. As you probably know, Russia recruited quite a few Nepalese mercenaries to fight in Ukraine, but what they didn't know was that borscht and halushki in Ukraine are much tastier than all that shit in Russia, and apparently if they knew it earlier, they would fight for Ukraine. So again, bad marketing is our curse here in Ukraine, and I think we should change that.
That's a good take, Ben.
Dick, let me throw in there. I completely agree with Nick and Starsky on this one because Nick nailed it. The optics. You do not want to give two parties any, and I don't mean by political party here per se. I'm just two groups any ammunition to help them with their narrative. Number one, the Kremlin would turn that in a New York second, in a New York minute, and secondly, MAGA would completely go nuts with that, and that we would be down such a deeper hole with their lies and misunderstanding. You know, guys, here in the U.S., I can tell you I've had to fight, especially probably 6 months ago, it reached its peak. 6 to 9 months ago, it reached its peak where the narrative here was that I had to fight against, especially in the Christian right, was that Zelensky was torching churches, that Zelensky was banning Christianity, that Zelensky was doing it, all, of course, lies, but that's the narrative the Kremlin would spin it, and then these people took it hook, line, and sinker. So
it's still happening.
You don't want to help them.
It's crazy. It's still happening. They're still thinking that.
Oh, yeah. And Slavic. I have friends that still think there are biolabs.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, but they totally are. Okay.
Don't say that even jokingly. Really, seriously, somebody's gonna. There is no biolab.
No, there aren't. But the reality is, it's when you give a narrative, when you create a platform for a narrative to be spun, then those, and it doesn't have to be the Kremlin, the MAGA. It can be anybody. Anybody can turn a narrative, especially when you give them that's free. That's easy to pick on. You have to really make sure, we've been putting this studio together. It's measure twice and cut once. But when it comes to dealing with Ukraine, we need to measure 3 times and cut once and make sure we nail it every time because we don't have margin of error.
Yeah. Good words, man. We got generic username gifting out a Shills membership. We got Apatox with a, I do believe it might have been a super sticker. We got Susan Melendi there with a $10 super chat, no less. If we're pinning our hopes on Kamala Harris, best vote blue down ticket as well. Give her the House and Senate. Greg's spitting some truth to y'all. There's an argument for that. I mean, traditionally, is some, Republican rhetoric against funding Ukraine. And Greg here is a card-carrying Republican, but he's a Reaganite Republican, and he's not voting for Trump.
Wait.
Conservative.
I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There's the Republican. Listen, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party of 2024 are not the Democratic and Republican parties of 2004, 94, 84, 74. Okay, so when people, and it's hard just to throw out these terms because that's just the way it's always been. And
you guys just do it complicated. In Canada, we have a conservative party. Yeah. They're called that, and it's very easy to follow.
I am a conservative, and I am a person that wants to vote for people that support issues that would be dear to me and my belief system and values, just as anyone else would. But at the same time, there are global issues that are so vitally important that we must pay attention to them and make the wisest decisions possible. So, the days of, especially I'm 51 years old. If you go on up into the 60s and the 70s and beyond, to our real legendary people that are 80 and above, it's just a different world. And so many people today want to throw out these Democrat, Republican. Okay. It's not the same. Okay, it's so different today because there are certain democratic current values that I actually agree with. There are some that I absolutely do not agree with. There are some Republican issues that I would agree with or not agree with. What I'm looking at is the person, their candidacy,
that's right,
their resume, all the way down the line.
You're being a Canadian. That's good.
I'm being a person with a brain and not a robot.
And Dick, just FYI, I couldn't agree more about the naming system in the U.S. But just FYI, and this is a lot of people don't know this. This is a fact. In the antebellum South, the Democrats decided that they wanted to create a new organization to help solve what they believed were the problems of the time. So they created an organization called the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. The Klan was created by Democrats. And started entirely by Democrats. Back then, Democrats were all the conservatives.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are the days of our lives then, right?
Hey, don't make me do a modern day rap on soap operas again, because I will drop it on you, brother.
That was
All right,
awesome.
listen. Thank you, man. Listen, I'm going to hop out now. My wife is ready. I don't even have a bed. We're in the middle of a move and everything, and I have to stay at a hotel. I mean, it's crazy. I don't even have because I'm not going to make my wife sleep on the floor. You know what I'm saying? But tomorrow, our bed is delivered. So
right. All right, man.
Yeah. Starsky, I'm going to be watching tonight, man. I wish you very well on that stream. I'm looking forward to it. And going to be awesome. Nick, enjoyed chatting with you again as well. And we're getting almost there, guys, where we can be on for the full time. Slavi, Dunk, hope you do your thing there, brother. Dunk is a unique individual whom I've grown to love very much.
I'm doing my thing right now. I'm sitting here shutting up.
Yana, thank you for everything. We'll be chatting here the next couple of days, Roland.
Awesome.
And Dick, thank you as always, buddy.
Take care, buddy.
Hey, well, and as Nick said, if you need to fix your system, don't call Dick.
That is such horse shit. It's not funny.
Listen, okay, but let me bring this back to all seriousness. Dick is actually a massive help technically for streamers everywhere, and so Dick, thank you. I know personally I've delivered your gear to Rick, and I know that you are always helping people. So thank you. I will get you on the VMix wagon back again, but until then, everything's good.
Take care, buddy.
All right, I'm going to say this just to avoid confusion too, because I was like, I was first of all, when we were talking about the joke earlier, notice that he said it was a joke. He didn't say it wasn't true, but for me, like. Dick and I, we haven't talked in like basically a year. We've talked back and forth sometimes on other shit, but like when we were, within time in the back, so like Dick was like, you realize you don't have a real microphone. I was like, fuck you, this is a real microphone. And he's like, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, I do. I really do. And he's like, no, this is a real microphone. And we got the whole thing set up. And the only reason I can make fun of Dick as hard as I do is because anyone who knows him knows I'm full of shit. so and I know I'm full of shit, and I know Dick knows it because Dick has put together the sound that I have now isn't the sound I used to have, but the entire sound and everything on, and that was actually a lot of fun when you and I were doing the VMix together. Was actually a lot of fun. I was blown away by how much you do because you seem to learn in 6 months what took me 2 years.
I got a history of audio engineering school and everything, right? This is all second nature to me. I take to it like, kids to cupcakes,
Which is the only reason I can hit you so hard on it is because it's like you hit friends on their strengths, right? It's like because there's no way anyone could think I could actually, except for Macmillan's thing. And that I'm gonna give you shit for forever.
That's not my fault. The computer is what's the word? Oh, garbage. So there's
Nick, I was watching earlier, and I'm always chatting. I'm watching, and I'm texting Dick, and I heard you say VMix, and I messaged Dick. I said, "There you go, VMix." And I'm a VMixer, but I use actually. We're going technical here, but I use Neural Net for live to air for all my call-ins and guests, and it works great. But I'm trying to get Dick back, but not happening.
Hey, they've got Zoom integration now, so we went from Teams to Zoom.
Zoom integration is good.
You guys don't get it. I'm a Mac user. There's no such thing as VMix. It doesn't exist.
Actually, there is. There is. It's called Wine. What you do is it will emulate perfectly a Windows environment on its open source. But
I have an Apple
sorry,
Silicon Mac Studio with an Ultra chip, and I'm going to run emulation to run Windows.
It's not emulation; it's natural translation.
No, it isn't. I have an Apple. It's an ARM chip. I have. It's still going to have.
Nick's a really smart guy.
Yeah, it's going to have to. What?
Oh yeah.
Nick's a really smart guy. Yeah.
That's not smart. That's a waste of horsepower. That makes my computer about half as powerful as it is. That's like saying, look, I have a Ferrari, and when I drive it in first gear, I can go to the store without getting arrested. You know, like.
Listen, I'm assuming that was a commercial for Starsky's upcoming stream on whether to have a motorcycle or a car or truck and whatever it is. So there you go. So all right, I'll be watching. You guys be blessed.
All right, take care, buddy.
Bye.
Dick, from my experience, I can tell that I encountered like 3 types of perverts. Okay, one type of pervert is like
you've been fighting Russians. I highly doubt that, but okay.
So one is like those who like USSR, because generally USSR is like big, fat, old ass. Nothing good about it, but perverts love it. Second type is basically those who support Russian terrorism and everything else. And third type is like worse. It's it's like people who run Windows on Macs.
Yeah, man. Dude, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Oh, we got boot camp running there, then, Dick.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. No, I've got a list of shills that I don't like, and it's just okay. So Starsky is spelled. Do I spell it in a Cyrillic or can we just use English here? Hold on a sec.
Just put everybody above.
I tell you, there's a clear reason to run a PC for streaming or a Mac. If you have a Mac, you enjoy quiet in your room. If you're a PC user, it's because you love the sound of big fans rocking out and doing their thing. That's the difference, right, Starsky?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like difference between commercial pilots.
Sorry, you'll have to speak up because Nick's on a PC, so you'll have to shout.
It's like a difference between commercial pilots who fly, jets, and, for example, general aviation guys who fly prop airplanes. First type of people is like they're like glamorous, educated folks who like to travel, learn stuff. The other type is like those hardcore guys, like covered in like oil stains and stuff. So it's whatever you like, whatever you prefer.
No worries. I've learned something today, which is that Dunk can actually be on this list twice. So hold on a second.
Here, Nick, I should inform you that everybody except yourself is on a Mac on this show right now. I should let you know.
You know what? I actually figured that out on my own, but thank you for spoon feeding me that.
Hey, wait! I'm gonna tell you my favorite thing as well. Where if you tell a PC user that you use a Mac, you go, well, you can't play games on it. I don't play games. I do shit.
Yeah. Okay, here, we're going to do a thing with Nick and I. So you're going to know the line. So I'm going to come in first, okay? Hi, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
Can we just hey Dick, can you just like swap Nick's image to blue screen of death?
That was good.
Well, it would probably be slightly more informative than the normal Nick, but it's yeah.
Okay, yeah. So remember I said off the rails? No, we've been there. It turns out that was just the first stop of the line.
Off the rails.
Yeah, this train kept a rolling, baby.
Hey, where we're going, we don't need no stinking rails.
Oh, is that part 4 that never got made because of the whole Western thing?
No, they're making a new one now. They've made that new one now, right? With
Eric Stoltz.
I forgot. It's the kids, and they've made a new one. It's out. I've seen trailers for it. It really is a thing. There is a new Back to the Future.
Oh, wow.
Get out of town.
I shit you not. Somebody from the live chat back me up on this. I forget. And they've got like Christopher Lloyd. They've got what's his name? Michael J. Fox. And apparently it's the kids doing something. I don't know. I mean, it looked like it was for the millennials and or generations below that. It's not something I think I'd be interested in.
You sure it wasn't a PC game you downloaded?
For fuck's sake.
So it was Melissa McCarthy Ghostbusters?
I'm finally deciding what it is I'm a masochist. I enjoy pain. And so when I'm bored, I just sit there and say, you know what I haven't done in like a while is just hang with the shills. That should really hurt.
What you're supposed to say is, please, sir, can I have another?
Yeah, but what you got to do is...
It's implied. I shouldn't have to say that with you. How many times have we...
you gotta have us over now and then so you can serve it out and we have to just go, yeah, well, it's your channel. Okay, then,
Listen, I've invited you over like 16 times, but then you're like, wait a minute, isn't this on a PC? And then you're just like, fucking, I don't hear from you.
I have standards. People might find out.
I'm starting to think that there's like some kind of like bias, like, you guys are just. Can I sue? Is there like a? It's not racism, obviously, but there's some kind of ism. I'm sure that's.
I'm an Appleist. Yeah,
Yeah. Why is it all PCs wear MAGA hats? I never understood that.
Holy shit!
Ouch. Sorry, now I have to look this up now because I'm like freaking out that maybe I'm losing my mind.
I have a way of getting you out of this.
And now for something completely different.
Camel toes.
Oh God, it happened. I should have known better. What was I thinking? I've got some super chat shout outs to finish up here. So let me do that before, the bus hits the ground as it goes over the cliff.
We got a little bit. Isn't this a little bit like trying to disarm a bomb after it's exploded?
Yeah. Right now I'm the Flash and I'm running as fast as time to try to figure out a way of making an explosion not happen.
Yeah, he's doing Superman spinning around the Earth to time.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, you're my lowest, baby. Papa Dutch came in with a super chat.
I have a hard time believing that, but okay.
Civilized shills. Okay, why the fuck not? We had Papa Dutch in with another $10 super chat. If it was illegal to learn to read, everyone should earn a master's in literacy. I like that. Papa Dutch again comes in. Welding shops are a prime source of compressed gases. Oh, that's a reference to when I got up and stuff. And Papa Dutch again in. Dangling citizenship for service isn't an option. They should opt to serve on their own accord. Good words, Papa Dutch. I'll give you that one for sure. And then he comes in. Wait for it. With one last super chat here. I always thought Geeklish ought to be a new language, kind of like Inghanese affects people who don't fix cars. Okay, I'm playing that game. I like that. Let me check over here to the other sources.
I've been outed by your live chat. LG Teku. Now I know why Nick hasn't been seen for a year. Last year, he got a Windows update, and it just finished. Son of a...
Oh yeah.
Right on the whole live chat just gets on the list for this. I'm just like, this list is going to be long.
Oh, that was funny. Here, let's bring up the chat dance. Captain Kirk's girlfriend for that remark. So, Doug is now Tim Cook.
Oh my word, no.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Let's see who else. Oh, Dunk, why don't you do fat face for a little hello to everybody before we get into wrap ups here? You know who I'm talking about. You're muted, dude.
Oh, muted my ass. Yeah, hello everybody, it's me, Kim Young. Just dropping down, hanging out with the Shills. You know what I mean? I just want to say hi to all the girls and boys in the audience, and all the people who are fighting Ukraine. Oh, hang on, yeah, don't get my support then. Fuck you. And we'll see you all later. Bye. I'm going to hand over to Dunk.
It's a new toy that I'm really, really liking. You know. Oh yeah.
You don't actually. Come on, be fair.
Don't do it.
You don't always like it.
Oh,
you don't. You don't always like it.
It makes me look like I'm having a stroke or something. You know? Like,
I do think you may want to check your super chats. I think you may just have had another one queue up.
Yeah, we had a couple in. I don't even have to look at the screen because I got my Discord room, because I have the best team on YouTube supporting this channel. I know that your other channels might have a good team, but mine's the best, and I'm telling you that right now. I do have Papa Dutch in for another one. Car launching. It's an Alaskan sport. I like that. We got Chifer in for Super Chat here. I'm with Nick. PC for life for me. Wait a minute here. I do have a sound for that. All right.
I can't believe you would be so disrespectful to your audience. You know, $2 super chat, and that's what you do with it. Really? Come on.
I mean, some of us can. Some of us wish they were ready when it happened. And we also have Papa Dutch coming in one more time. Let's just say I'm a super chat entrepreneur, baby. Oh, yeah. So here, we're getting near. Oh, we've got a direct donation as well. And it's nobody else other than the greatest direct donator the Shills has ever seen. Demetria Ziganova sends in one. Dick's team is the best. I'm telling you, they are. Oh, yeah. I've gone through enough of them to finally figure out how to do it, so... But that's a topic that would start drama, so we're not going to do that, are we? Let's go down to Dunk. Pick a character, give us an outro. What do you think, buddy?
Oh, what do you want? Hang on a minute. Oh, yeah, yes.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, God.
Yes, everybody, just listen to me. Listen to me. I'm the only one around here who knows anything to talk about. You're all talking a load of bollocks, and so just like bow down to me and just pray that the Shills just keep on growing until they even get bigger than me, and more important because it was much better books. You know, I only wrote 2 books, and they were rubbish. The Shills books are going to go on forever.
Oh, Jesus!
Wow. Ouch.
So, as you can understand, Greg Terry's about to get a hold of me in the background and chew me a new one. This is my life, people. Feel sorry for me. This is how I roll. Nick, what?
No sympathy.
Yeah, from the cause. Nick, what do you think, buddy?
Oh my God, I would say yes. I've been gone for almost exactly a year, 11 months and a couple of weeks. And as I said before on the other show, and I'm not going to say it every time, thankfully. As a family thing, and but we're back. In Time is back. We're doing our regular lineup.
This is a family thing too, right?
Absolutely, and I wanted to mention that too, which is actually, Commander's been, coming by here, and we'd said this before. It's like, I would never have met Starsky if it wasn't for you guys. And
so you were in a kennel for like a whole year before some family came along and rescued you,
and they adopted me. And the problem was apparently they weren't sure that I had like all my shots, and
worms.
It was potty trained.
It was
soiling
worms.
the corner.
We'll say it was worms. We'll say worms was the issue. Certainly wasn't anything, anywhere else on the body that may have needed penicillin or something. But
it wasn't an eel up your ass, was it?
Not the second time. The second time, that was not the issue. Look, I learned from my mistakes. Okay. I mean, it's just one of those things you got to do in life. Also, you have to learn to be able to identify just by looking the difference between a regular eel and an electric eel, because that's not a mistake you want to make. But, or maybe you do. I'm not judging.
Tingly.
In Time is back. We've got Lance on every Thursday night. And we're going to be doing our regular shows. It's a news show. We're very interested in Ukraine. And it's actually a news show very much like this one. A lot more. If you like Suits and kind of like, I'm going to be speaking like this, like everything I say is the most important thing you have ever heard in your life, then we are the show for you. So there's going to be a lot fewer eel jokes, or in this case, it would be eel reveals.
That was wild, eh?
So that's it. In Time, I hope you guys will come by, and we've got lots of interviews. And we still have a lot of very good stuff from, we had General Benjamin Hodges on. That was one of our better meetings, and a few other things. So Brandon Mitchell, some of it is, a year old, but we are glad to be back, and I am delighted. I got to tell you, even when I couldn't come on, family was just too much. Dick was always sending me links and saying, if by any chance and you want to, it's always been this open. No, it wasn't begging. It was like, you are welcome here. You are family here anytime you want. Yeah. And there's never been any question about that. So I've been delighted to be just so warmly welcomed back by everybody, except that person in the live chat that said, I've been rebooting my Windows for 5 years. I've written that name down. I am going to find him. But other than that, it's been delightful. Thank you.
I got my claws in CSIS. We can get you the information.
Perfect.
So if you've never been over to In Time, get over there and sub now. You'll know the theme song as soon as it kicks in. It's all good.
Can't hear anything for the fans.
Let's see. Now we go from a row of two blokes up to a row of two chicks. And I do believe that the conversation is going to get a tad more intelligent. So let's see how it goes here.
It certainly couldn't get less intelligent.
Yeah. So I'm going to do this like a backwards S. So we went Dunk, Nick. So now it's Yenna's turn.
Just thanks for supporting us. And those of you who haven't seen the Joseph Yar video that we uploaded on our YouTube channel of one of Pete's, like one of the guys he treated in Joseph Yar. It's up there. It's about like half an hour long. But
Good.
Yeah, it would be great if you guys could go check it out. And yeah, Slava Ukraini.
Hero, Slava. Good shout out. What do you think there, Slavi? Thoughts and wrap ups?
No, I always say if you're a Russian supporter, you're either 1, a psychopath, 2, really stupid, or 3, both. So guys, if you're not any of those things, keep supporting Ukraine, keep sharing Ukrainian stories, and keep talking about Ukraine. Slava Ukraini.
Hero, Slava. Good shout out. What do you think, Starsky?
I think it was a good show, guys. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you later on a different channel. Please be civilized and friendly. And what more can I say? Peace, love, and equality to all, except Russia. Fuck Russia.
Exactly. We wish the best for everybody on Earth except if you're an orc, then I wish you to be fertilizer in my garden because, well, that's where you belong.
Hey, Dick, before you finish out, you've got to mention tell everybody about our new charity that we're going to be doing soon.
Oh, dear Lord. I'm so scared to ask.
Yeah, but the one we talked about, it's going to be you, me, and Starsky. We're going to be doing a charity drive, live stage show, strip show, and it's going to be called "Get Back to the Chopper, Dales." we're all going to be stark naked.
Yeah. I remember that. I agreed to that, but I was drunk at the time. So,
okay.
Yeah. Shout out here to Commander Prankster in the chat. Here to represent the PC users who don't use Windows. Yeah, baby. Yeah. I left Windows back to Mac, and Apple's getting a little bit control-y, and I think I'm going to be a Linux user on my next upgrade as well. Love that shout out. We do have Secular Sakai who's just jumped in again, but are you on the show or not? You know what I'll do? You're not yet. Hold on. Because you can say a little goodbye here in the background, but I got to give you just a second to make sure it works. And, it's, being a bit of a bitch. Hold on here. There we go.
Wins again.
Yeah. No, I have an issue because I've done one step too far of operating system updates, and it's a little bit rough on a few of my devices in the background. So give me 1 second here.
Is your chance, Nick? Is your chance? Get in there.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. He's on the show now. Sakai, you're in, I think. Let's see. 1 more second here. Oh, my God. Okay, there we go. You got thoughts and wrap-ups, buddy. Good timing.
Oh, yeah. Perfect timing. Just I made it, right before your closing. Well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Sorry I wasn't able to make it for the rest of the show because I've been driving nonstop for many hours all weekend, and I wish I had a bullet in my brain right now. But thank you, everyone, for being here, showing support to Ukraine in all the ways you do, and Slava Ukraini.
Awesome. Hiram Slava. Remember, everybody, as Commander McMillan would say right now, you've got to support your local, regional, and national government in a hard way, in so much that you're bugging them to make sure they're always in the mindset of supporting Ukraine. You can't rest on your laurels and go, oh, well, the person I voted said they would. You've got to be an active participant to make sure that they know how critical it is to you. Huge thanks to everybody around here who's been donating to the fundraisers, supporting the channel, new subscribers, new members, and a big shout out to our team. Our team does everything for us in the background. We've got Annette, who hosted Beyond the Headlines just earlier on the channel. She runs the teams. We've got PJCnet, who runs the research team. We got Shayna Caldwell. We got Crazy Cat, Liam Wakefield, Janine Terblanche, the mighty warrior moderator. And we, of course, got Super Chat Matt with us as well. Remember, you've always got to keep the high ground in the arguments on why Ukraine should be supported. And that's what we're going to do tonight as we support Starsky in his argument with Ignorant Biker or whatever his name is. I can't remember. Starsky didn't say that. I did. So don't put those words in his mouth, but I can do that here. Just not there. So let's get the link in the chat, team, and get everybody over and make sure that Insolvency Biker has his chat filled with people from our scene supporting and everything.
I'm gonna be there, and I'll see all the rest of you there.
They are going to have bots there. I mean, there's going to be Russian bots there too, so it ain't going to hurt to have people. Actually,
exactly.
They're going to need people fighting that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So get your asses over there. The link has been dropped in the chat, and that's already on it. See it. This is how good our team is. If you want to learn how good a team could really be run, watch our channel. If you want to be taught, don't ask us. We got a lot of work to do. Good night, everybody. Love seeing you. See you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
It's over. Go home. Go.